And welcome back to Stop, Drop, and Roll. I am not Daniel Kim. Nope, I'm not. I'm Gavin. And you're seeing my face today. I usually play Poe in the original Grim Troop, but today I am your dungeon master, my friends.
Pew, 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 pew,
We're doing a new little one shot that I created from my brain space called An Invitation. Um, and yeah, we're gonna be running this for a few weeks. We'll be back with Grim Troop soon. But for now, enjoy the spooky vibes. Grab a drink, get situated, and enjoy some hot dice-based storytelling.
pew, 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 pew.
We begin in a carriage, making its way through the Silverdell countryside. The wheels of the wooden vehicle creak as it trudges through the rain-besotted roads of these marshy lands. You've passed a few small towns, but as you venture further towards your destination, it becomes increasingly clear that this is what folks around here would call the country. You get the feeling that anyone who lives out here either has no choice in the matter or wants desperately to be on the outside of society. The town in which you caught this final carriage was modest. The buildings were modest, the people were modest, and you stuck out like a sore thumb. Not unlike this carriage. The carriage is wooden, but you wouldn't think it from a cursory glance. Lined with gold and adorned with all sorts of moldings and gems, this is perhaps the finest carriage you have ever ridden in. And it bodes well for the destination and the promise of this evening's events. As you sit inside this covered carriage and are perhaps a few minutes out from your destination. Andrew, please describe your character.
If you were within this carriage, this fine carriage, you might be able to see
Oh my god.
a man who has maybe a tenuous existence in reality. He seems to be flitting back and forth, almost like he's exists within the shadows. He is a man hunched, hundreds of years old, a drow. He has a steely look in his eye as he clutches and fondles at the many, many religious and some irreligious artifacts that cover his person. He stretches carefully the worn leather gloves stitched together with arcane threads and covered in talismans, symbols of ancient power. And he sits back in the velvety chairs of the carriage
I've got friends.
and
on
smiles
the
into the
other side.
darkness.
Beautiful. But Joshwara, you are not the only passenger in this carriage. Placed immediately across from you is a rather large wooden instrument. It's beautiful, seemingly handcrafted, though not the focus of your attention. Your eyes turn to meet those of its owner, sitting to the side of the instrument, staring absently out the carriage window. Zach, would you please describe your character?
My name is Reggie. I'm from Aiden. I've come here to enjoy some nice privileges and some lovely, lovely vocation. It is nice to be respected and represented over my hard years of work in the Silverdale Resistance. It is nice to have a lovely couple like the Mayfields. Appreciate me for a change. Reggie, what you see is a loot smaller in size than the average, but there lies a particular quirk to this loot. As you look at the base of the instrument, there is a blade that stretches across, and you can gather by looking at this instrument that this instrument isn't just used for music. And as Reggie sits there and looks out the window, he smiles. And what you catch, besides his pointed ears, is a tooth made of solid gold and a smile deadlier than that of his loot.
It's at this time that the driver, who has been manning this carriage all along, calls out to you all. Almost there, sirs. Just one last smile. I hope the ride hasn't been too bumpy. And as you recall, it hasn't. It has been smooth as butter. Jeshwara and Reggie, it is the two of you in this carriage.
The ride has been fine.
Yes, you here to appreciate me too? What are you here for?
I don't believe that could be what I'm here for. I am on my way, and it seems curious that you are still in the carriage, but I am on my way to be appreciated. You know, the Hatham and Margaret, they are entertaining me.
I'm so sorry, sir, but it looks like you have a bit of a loose screw, maybe. To my understanding, Margaret and Hayfield, I believe is how it's pronounced, are hosting a dinner in my honor.
It's excellent. So there will be entertainment at my dinner? I assume that is what the loot is for?
I think there will be indeed some entertainment. This is gonna be a fun one.
It is at this time that as the sun continues its descent, your carriage pulls up to a stop outside a large metal gate. The old man driving the carriage, seemingly one of the more modest folks from that town in which you started, steps off the front of the carriage and over to the carriage door. Mayfield Manor, sirs. As he opens the door to reveal Mayfield Manor, standing in all of its imposing glory in front of you. And please, there's no charge. It's already been paid for, so tips are always appreciated. But now you could just grab your stuff and get on out with you. I got to head back to town. It's getting late.
Yeshuwara is already walking past him as he's talking like this.
All right, yep, sir.
He's talking to Yeshuwara's back.
He's got the gist of it. How about you, Mr. Jones?
I flick him off my thumb, like flipping a quarter. I flick him a gold piece.
You flick him off.
Dost thou bite thy thumb at me, sir?
Yeah, fuck you!
All right, yeah. Okay, well, that'll be it then. You got your stuff. You must be real important to be guests of the Mayfields, huh? Yeah, I'll be seeing you. And he gets back on top of his carriage, makes sure all the doors are closed, and rides back to town. Now, Jeshwara and Reggie, you see before you a mansion. An estate, really. Oh, we still have the carriage music. Ba-da.
I was wondering, I was
He's
like,
still
the
driving
music is
away.
very carriagey, like...
Yeah, he was still driving
got-
away. He was underscoring the moment.
He was doing donuts in the parking lot.
Showing off, trying to get a tip. You see before you a mansion. An estate, really. You could call it large, but that would be a severe understatement. For both of you, it is likely the singularly largest home you have ever seen. It is fair to assume that the rumors about the sheer wealth of the Mayfields have not been unfounded. Though, the mansion does fall short in one aspect. You had expected a building filled with life, light, and seemingly ready for a massive celebration. And what you see before you is an opulent mansion, sure, but almost as if it has become the grayscale version of what it once was. And if the mansion is this large, it's nearly impossible to fathom the expanse of the grounds on which it stands. Far in the distance, you can see moonlit gardens, perhaps even large bodies of water. It's hard to tell. It is very impressive. And as mentioned before you, there is a large metal gate, a gate that extends as a fence through the perimeter of the estate. And standing before this large metal gate is a man. This man is older. He seems to be human. He has short, pale white hair. And he stands completely still in a black coat, staring straight ahead and says nothing.
Are you the one that's supposed to help us out?
He does not respond.
I'm gonna look around for any sort of bell or something other than this man that tells me of a signaling of some kind.
Okay. Roll a perception check.
First roll of the campaign. Don't mess it up.
Oh my god.
Yeah, don't fuck it up, dude.
Don't do it.
Here we
No
go.
pressure.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
This is a
Nat
healthy
20.
roll. This is a healthy roll for a first one. We're gonna go with a 14 perception.
Ooh,
14.
party.
You don't see
Rotan.
much in the way of a bell or anything that you could ring. But you do notice that this man standing still seems to be standing in front of something that is attached to the gate, but you cannot tell what that thing is.
In the gate. Jeshawara says to the man,
He does not respond.
I want to take a closer look at this guy. Like, is he alive? Frozen? A statue?
He is alive. And he is not. Well, he's frozen in that he is still, but he's very much alive. You can make an insight check if you want.
Could I make an Arcana check to see if he's like? 'Cause that's what I was thinking, that it was some kind of magic.
Yeah, absolutely. Do it.
It's a 16.
16. There is no magic exuding from this man. No magic. And it is at this time that both of you, if you're paying attention, you see a shape form at the end of the path leading up to the mansion. It starts small, seemingly far away, but as it draws nearer, you can make out the shape of a horse. And this, as it gets closer, is no ordinary horse. You see a rare, super rare, majestic white palomino, and a figure perched atop. And the pair moves and travels effortlessly near to you, almost as if riding this horse were some sort of dance. It's that elegant. And as you make out the appearance of the rider on top, Daniel, would you please describe your character?
Of course. The figure you see atop the white palomino seems to be a well-traveled, experienced rider of sorts. Beautiful woman, elven, around in elven years, probably mid-60s, which would be the equivalent of late 20s for a human. fierce, golden, stormy eyes. And while this has been a formal occasion that everyone's been invited to, she's in riding leather armor, and a distinctly, almost like she's ready for any sort of combat to go down at any moment. Sharp eyes and strikingly beautiful. And the most kind of obvious feature about her is that she is pale white, almost like moonlight, like snow. Both her hair and her features. She dismounts from the horse and ties it up next to the gate, seemingly with like a small bag in tow.
And you see before you these two men and the one man standing in front of the gate.
Sorry, dude. I just got a call. Can you give me that one more time? I had to decline it.
Yeah. Totally. And you see before you these two men standing here,
Oh,
arguing,
fuck.
talking.
Who are you? Stop calling me. I'm in the middle of playing D&D.
Sorry, did you have
Agent.
something else you
Daniel's
needed to do,
agent.
Daniel?
What is going on? It's from the
I'm getting
It's
so
Hollywood,
many
dude. It's Hollywood
calls.
calling.
No, who is
Airplane mode is a super helpful feature
You're
for this
absolutely
circumstance.
correct.
Oh my god.
It's
Other
on my
priorities.
computer. How do I turn it off? It's not.
Oh,
Never a problem when you're DM.
I know, dude. This never happened to me before.
We're playing D&D, but someone needs to introduce Daniel to a new kind of D&D.
Oh
Do
my.
not disturb.
Oh my god!
shit.
Oh, God,
Pew,
dude.
pew, pew, pew.
Alright,
Good
hold on. Where's my DM?
And just like that, the atmosphere is destroyed.
Oh my.
was she riding with one hand on her? Yes, I know. No, it's okay. Yes, no,
Is
I'm
that,
almost
is
there.
that why the horse is like veering
Yes.
back and forth?
Yeah. Okay, I'm good. It's all good. I turn on Do Not Disturb.
She has a sending stone in her hand.
Oh. Alright, back to
As
one, back to one.
Sirius,
Such a funny image.
as Sirius pockets her cellular phone back into her doublet.
Version villain.
Daniel, I was saying that you see these two men before you and the guard, and they're both seemingly trying to get something out of. They're kind of staring at this guard quite intently, and that's the moment when you come up on him.
Yes, I'm assuming you are the butlers who are going to help me into the manor. I have a couple of bags. She addresses to Jeshuara. No, are you not the staff at this establishment?
You're still talking to Jeshuara's back. He is looking around at this man still.
Must do everything myself, it seems. What are you two looking at?
Well, now I'm looking at you, darling. How are you?
She shoots ice daggers at you. In like
Ice
with her
knife?
eyes. And just smiles. Just smiles.
All right.
Is your playing as tacky as your lute? Was that something that you picked up?
Look, we're trying to get inside right now. Do you know the way in? This man won't help us at all.
Well, I have never been here before.
Oh, you don't live here? And
I'm gonna ignore the man with the sword lute, and I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this person who's in front of the gate, this guard, and see what's going on.
Okay. You can make an insight check
All right.
or investigation if you want. Either way.
I will do an investigation check. Okay. That is going to be 13.
13 investigation. Yeah, you see that his suit is nice. His suit is well pressed, well put together. He takes good care of it. He looks alert. And again, he is standing in front of something. With a 13, you can see that it's some sort of a maybe like a metal box, some sort of a thing. His shoulders are like just covering it. But he's not looking at you. He is looking straight ahead.
Can I take a closer look at the box? I'm gonna stride around to it. I'm actually gonna take from my like little what I've tucked inside my little leather armor. I'm gonna pull out my invitation.
Okay.
Excuse me. We are the invited guests at this manor. Guest of honor. Still no response?
He looks at your invitation, and then he looks at you, and then he looks straight ahead.
I guess I'm going to take that as permission. I'm gonna take a quick look at the deposited metal box. Does it look like I should like deposit the invitation there, or if I can just like stride in through the gate?
No. With it, you were able to see that there is no hole, slot, nothing of that sort
Okay.
on it. Nothing that you would deposit something in. And just before your group impatience grows to a swell, you notice one additional shape
Writhing.
coming up the road. But this one is lost my place. This one, instead of the steady pace, the choreographed pace from earlier, this shape is moving fast. This shape is coming up the road at an immense speed, and you didn't even clock it this time by seeing it. You clocked it by the sound of its rapid hooves galloping swiftly along the path. And as it sprints to the spot you all stand, you can make out an agile, deep brown Arabian horse. And perched atop is the rider, deftly handling the reins. The horse and rider come to a rapid skid in front of you all as the rider leaps off and lands precisely on both feet. Becca, please describe your character.
So, as the hooves of this brown Arabian horse are flying across the muddy road, her cape whipping around her shoulders, Kolesnikova Maria Nikolaevna, known as Mashka to the few who know her well, bounds through the increasingly dark evening. On any given day, you might find Mashka presenting as an unassuming blonde serving wench, or perhaps a charming red-headed hostess. On another day, you may not notice her at all. Hooded cloak drawn about her face, masking her striking features as she flits through crowds and high society unnoticed. But this evening, you find her unadorned. No disguises, nothing put on. Her jet black hair, a hue or two darker than her horse's mane, flies wildly about her angular face. Her dark eyeshadow framing her piercing black eyes, her blood-red lips are curled into a knowing smile. You can tell that she is prepared for just about anything. And as she deftly leaps off her horse and lands in front of you, she sort of absent-mindedly adjusts her cloak and says, "Well, this is no way to greet a guest of honor. What are you all doing standing around outside?"
All right. So what's going on here? I'm gonna pull out my invitation. Does this look like Yoas?
I will
And
pull out
unravel.
mine.
Mashka,
Yeah. Looking at your character, Daniel. I'm gonna pull out mine and be like, does this look like Yoas? Is this what you had?
Sirius pulls out hers and also begins to compare notes. I'm getting a very uneasy feeling that we are all guests of honor here, and therefore none of us are honored.
I will give you, so that you don't all have to, read each other's aloud to one another. I will tell you all that your invitations, the four of you, do all list you as the sole guests of honor for this evening. You all are expected to be honored by people of high society, and they have recognized your worth for what you are good at. That is the same in all of your letters.
Well, I didn't expect this, but there were always going to be a few kinks running through this in my mind. What are
It is
you
at-
all here for?
Well, after a cursory look at these notes, it seems we are all offered the same thing. telephone now, a table, a celebration for whatever we may have or have not done. Very interesting.
Once, or sort of in this entire time as Becca's been rolling up, Jejwara's been standing aside with this man at the gate. Jejwara, what are you saying to him?
I'm saying something to the tune that I want to know what it is that he expects of me, and why I'm being kept waiting.
He doesn't look at you, but in this telepathic bond that you two currently share, he says, "Wait." That's all he says. Reggie, you would like to cast Mage Hand and investigate. How are you investigating the box with Mage Hand?
I would like to animate it behind the figure. And then I want to see if I can open it while trying to look at him in front of him, be also in my peripheral paying attention. Do I notice anything out of the ordinary? If it lifts up, I can see a little bit inside it, or if it's locked, or I just want to attempt to open it with Mage Hand. And on the moment that he turns around, even moves an inch, it's gone.
Okay, I'm gonna say since you can't really see the entirety of it, let's say make a sleight of hand check for me.
Sounds good. Ooh, baby. It's gonna be a 21 total.
Ooh, okay. You can't really see what you're doing, but you're guessing real well. There is a panel to be opened, and the Mage Hand opens the panel and seems to press a button. There's a button to be pressed. And the second you press that button, you hear a "Eh." And this man turns around, looks at it, squashes the Mage Hand in his hand, turns back around, and stares straight ahead once more.
What in the world?
This time he says out loud, "Wait."
All right, I guess we're supposed to wait.
Apparently.
Observant.
You all begin to hear music. And the second you hear it, you expect that it'd be coming from the house. But in fact, this music, it's coming from the very road that you all drove up on. And you start to see a shape form where the music starts. And this shape gets closer and closer. And as it gets closer, this shape is much larger than a horse. This is no horse, but another carriage. Similar in size and grandeur to the one you rode in on, Jejwara and Reggie. As it pulls up to the same point outside the gate that you all stepped onto, you expect maybe another old man from the village to step off the front and open the doors. But instead, off the top of the carriage steps a goblin. "Make way! Make way! My lord needs space when exiting the carriage!" As he motions you all to back away from the carriage and begins to unload a few pieces of clothing and supplies off of the back of the carriage. And then the carriage door opens, though no lord exits. Another goblin, dressed in similar attire, steps out carrying an intricate length of red fabric that seems almost like a carpet. All right, sir. We're almost ready for you. As he drops the carpet repeatedly. He is so clumsy. He seems to be trying to extend its length from the carriage's door out to the front gate to you all. The other one calls out, "Hurry it up, Dooford!" "I'm trying, Hubert. I really am." And then another goblin peeks its head out the carriage door. "Is it my turn?" "Yes, Lewis." And out steps a third goblin. This one carrying a piece of bread in one hand and a bottle of perfume in the other. He seems to be spraying the area outside the carriage for some reason. "Okay, I'm done," as he takes a bite of his bread. And the first one comes right in front of you all, next to the carpet. He coughs. "May I announce the arrival of the powerful, the omnipotent, the Prince of Goblins himself," and he whispers to you, Mashka, "He's 1/4 goblin, our sovereign, Lord Zane." And out steps Kyle. Would you please describe your character?
Yes, of course.
Just Kyle.
Just Kyle. Kyle comes
Kyle
out.
steps out
This
of
is
the
just me. He is a 22. No. A younger man, like mentioned, kind of has some like weird goblin features, not quite pronounced enough to be distinct from a human. Very young, like late teenager at best. A little shorter in stature, but not too short. Large royal garments and a very ornate, like walking cane. That is, if anyone is proficient with lots of weapons, they would know that it can be used for dueling specifically. And he will saunter out very confidently and walk towards the front gate, and then his body physically stops next to the guy in the front, but you see this silvery, like translucent image appear in front of him, and it continues to walk through the gate. And then he goes, here's the money, and he tosses a bag of coins in the direction of the man, and then teleports through the gate to switch places with his image.
"Very clever, sir! Oh, yes. Oh, our master is the smartest." And this man standing in front of the gate, he was so stoic. But he is breaking. And he is fucking pissed. He turns around and looks at you, Lord Zane. Turns back around to the metal box. Presses a button. And says, "They're here." And the gate opens.
I was wondering. I was thinking it was never going to open for any of us.
Well, let's
And-
go see what all this is about, I guess.
You see the same imposing castle before you. Now the gates completely open, and still no light, no porch light, no sign of really any life, any expectant parties waiting for you within. And as you step up the paved path to the front door, you feel the beginnings of rain fall upon your heads. As you step into Mayfield Manor. You enter through thick double doors that look handmade almost. Likely took years to craft, with intricate etchings deep in the wood. The door alone is stunning, and you wonder what the rest of this estate holds. You step into, as you can see, a stunning foyer lit by the last touches of daylight, with more etchings in the marble, gorgeous crown molding, chandeliers in nearly every corner of the space. And as you enter, behind you, above the door, you can see an illustrious stained glass fixture, even larger than the door itself. Its depiction is of some nobility, royalty, perhaps, but you can't place exactly who that might be. And you look around this beautiful, beautiful foyer, and the marble everywhere, and these pillars, and some light. You see some light, but you notice that you're alone. There is no welcoming party. There doesn't seem to be anyone here to welcome you. No one. What do you do?
Well, I assume my quarters on the top floor. Hubert, take my stuff up there. I'm gonna go have a drink in the parlor. And I'm just walking in a random direction that I think the parlor is in.
I want to cast.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I want to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. Where? Just generally?
Just generally, yeah, around the room. As I
Around
walk
the room.
into the foyer.
Remind me what the specifics of Detect Magic are. The where the magic is and the type of magic, right?
School.
School.
Yeah, I think Kyle is right on it.
Mm-hmm.
Great. You don't detect any magic in this room. There is no
Within
magic.
30 feet of me.
Within 30 feet. Within 30 feet, you don't detect anything. You detect some on the very people you walked in with, some of the items they're holding and various things, but doesn't seem to be anything too magical about this room. It's just a beautiful empty room.
I'll keep
Lord,
concentrating on it as I walk further into the house for the next 10 minutes.
Great. Lord,
Let me
Zane,
know
you
if
said
I
you were going
pick anything
somewhere?
up.
Okay.
Yeah,
Lord
I'm going
Zane?
to get a drink.
Okay. You see on the floor that you're on, sort of two directions. There is a hall to the right and a hall to the left, as well as a grand staircase in front of you.
Well, Hubert, Duford, and Lewis are going up the stairs to bring my stuff to the top room, so I will probably go to the right, and then I will send my image off to the left.
Okay. Your goblins take all of your belongings, which is a number of them, and they start to move up the stairs. Don't worry, master. I will get you the biggest room, because that's the one you deserve. Don't worry. And we'll have a snack for you, too. And they make their way up there, taking your stuff. And you walk towards the right and cast your echo towards the left, you said?
Yes, I can't see through my echo until I choose to, so like I have to switch perceptions in order to do it.
As this is happening, is anyone else doing anything?
Sirius's eyes are just darting around the room, taking in sigils, symbols, anything of note, just as a habit of hers, and kind of to calm herself down and how on edge she feels. She turns to Mashka. She goes,
I never feel at home in places like these.
"Do you?"
That makes two of us.
Glad to have
So just to be clear, nobody knows anything about these people who have called us here. I don't take kindly to my time being wasted.
Well, other than their opulence and their apparent eagerness to meet people of great renown, I do not know much. But I'm very curious.
If anyone wanted to make a history check, they
Yo.
could see.
Oh, hell
if they
yeah.
know of these
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah!
Yeah. Never mind, I know everything.
A 12.
12,
Yes.
15 for Mashka.
15.
It's a 12 for
Gradually.
And is Sirius a 10. Okay, for Jejwara, Sirius, and Reggie, you have heard the name. You know that they are sort of a name synonymous with the upper echelons of society. You know there's money involved with them. You know they're important. That's all you really know. Mashka, you, maybe with your particular past and some of the people you may have encountered in various parts of society, you have heard more about the Mayfields. You know that they are an old family with that old banking money, that old banking money.
The bank money.
Yeah, they sort of have a reputation for being secretive, hoarders of artifacts, of paintings, of just fine things that they keep to themselves and don't let anyone see. You know that not a lot of people see them, and you know they got that banking money.
Cool. Mashka is gonna give Sirio sort of like an up and down look with her eyes, and say, well, no sense in wasting time waiting around, is there? And she's gonna head off to the left.
To the left, okay?
Sirius will join a couple paces behind.
Great. What is everyone's passive perception?
19.
14.
18.
19?
15. Damn.
Fuck, 13 for...
Okay, 13,
Mishka.
14, 15, 18, 19. Okay,
Christ. Who stacked their
damn,
shit?
y'all are perceptive.
You might say I'm observant?
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh, you goddamn son of a bitch.
Oh boy. All right. Most of you hear this. You all suddenly hear the laughter of a small child
What direction?
coming. Actually left the hallway,
Everyone?
which many of you were walking down. You all hear it. The 18 and 19 kids, you hear sort of the exact location. You know that it is down that left hallway and sort of a few rooms down on your left. You know it's coming from inside one of the rooms off of that hallway.
Ah!
Coming from
hate
inside the
children.
house.
Inside, I don't like it.
Probably a
Gavin,
ward of some kind. Maybe some child of the home.
Gavin, I'm sorry, but can you just reset the exits and entrances for me? There's a staircase, there's a hallway to the left, and then is there any other...
the grand staircase in front of you,
Yeah.
a hallway to the right, which Lord Zane started going down, and then a hallway to the left, which Zane's Echo and the rest of you started going down. And you hear on this left hallway the child's laughter.
Got it.
So three paths, and then the door behind you.
3 doors down and on the right.
I love that song.
I'm gonna follow Lord Zane, but I'm gonna clock the laughing, like very much so. Whatever that means. But yeah, I'm gonna go down the right.
Okay, we will go down the left hallway first.
Ooh. Sirius is gonna
Before you
call
get too
out-
far away, I want to stay in this kind of entrance hall and try and take a closer look at maybe the stained glass above me, and try and decipher who that is, and then some other kinds of clues. Look for like religious symbols and the sort.
You're gonna stay in the foyer.
The foyer.
in the foyer.
And
So can you just can you just say F and then like make it 2 syllables and just make up whatever vowels you want?
Yes.
I'll say here in the thinga.
Okay, you're gonna be in the in the fingaw. Zane and Reggie to the right. We're gonna go to the left with Mashka.
yeah, I'll have
and
when I hear the cry, I'll switch like Zane's body basically just like goes just is standing still doing nothing, and then I'll perceive through the image instead.
So you start to go down the right. Reggie joins you. You freeze and become vacant and leave your body.
Gavin, it's okay, because I was actually about to message you. I think Reggie started to go right, but as soon as the voices were heard, it went left. I don't know what I'm thinking.
All right,
I'm
great.
going to the
Don't
left.
worry, guys.
Okay, so
We're all on
There's
the
an
fucking
empty
left.
body on
There
the
we go.
right.
Solve that
It's
problem.
totally fine.
Thank you,
God.
Kyle.
Don't worry about the body on the right. That's completely inanimate. I'm sure it's not an
You have no
issue.
protection. We owe you nothing. We don't know you yet.
This is fine.
I did not realize you were going to have
alright.
a party in this left hallway, but you know,
Party in the left.
it's not the strangest party I've ever been to.
The majority of you make your way down the left hallway. This hallway is every bit as opulent as the foyer, which you just began in. There are rooms to your left, most of them gathering rooms, small parlors, maybe a study. But you make your way down to a larger room, a room that is more of a social room. It has lots of couches, there's a fireplace, large carpets. And you find the source of this laughter. A small boy. He's playing with some toys, some wooden figures, sort of throwing them back and forth.
Hello, little child. Do you have adults in the house?
He stands up and runs out the room past all of you in the same door that you went up to. And it's at this moment that you see another man in this room. He was standing there, sort of watching the kid, standing with him. And this man is younger. He's not as old as the man standing out front, maybe 30. He's human. He has pale skin and long brown hair and a long scar across his face. Oh, hello. I did not know. Oh, it is time already. Please, forgive him. He has not been the same recently ever since. Yes, please forgive him. He did not mean offense to run out like that. He gets scared when he sees strangers.
I would very much like to insight check.
I would as well, Gavin.
Yeah.
I'd actually like to
same.
detect magic on the child.
Ooh, all right. Let's throw those insights, and then we'll do the
Okay.
detect.
I do be insightful.
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh my god.
Insight is
What a
25.
horrible spelling of.
I got a 25 insight too!
Yo!
Dude, no way!
crap.
Insight
Alright, well,
buddies.
Mashka's stupid.
Insight buddies.
Serious as a reason.
Holy crap. Okay, Mashka, you're like, hey, this guy sounds like me, and that's about it.
That was the insight that I made.
25, right?
Lord
He also
20
said hello.
He also
Just
says
like
hello,
I do.
like me.
Lord Zane.
Perhaps he's
and
my father. I
Sirius.
don't know.
Is he my brother? I don't know. I got a 12. No, you would know, and he is not.
Oh.
With the 25, you know everything about this man. You know that when he was talking about the child, he was sincere about the child. The child ran off because it was afraid of you all. It ran off because it was scared. But you immediately sense that there is so much this man is thinking upon seeing you all that he is not divulging.
Cool.
I keep that to myself.
I think at this point I'll switch my body and echo.
What?
Great.
Just
Detect
pop into
magic?
the room.
So you're back with Reggie now? Oh no, Reggie's here. So you're back on the right side?
No. My echo was on the left, so now I'm with everyone on the left.
Oh, you're fully
The whole
swapping.
the whole
Great.
party's together.
this man goes, "Ugh, what the? I apologize. This is probably an awkward way to introduce ourselves. My name is Jakob. I am the caretaker of the Mayfield children. That was Simon, one of the Mayfield's kids. Yes, I work for them, and I take care of the kids, and you all are here. I see. Allow me to take you to the head of the household. Would you like that?
Please, we were expecting a feast and a bit of a party.
At least not to
Oh.
be left outside in the cold.
Oh, yes. If Martin was a bit cold with you all, I do apologize. He is not a people person, as you would say, as many of you seem to be. He can be a little coarse. I'm sorry he made you wait out there. But you are here now. I'm sure there will be, yes, there will be food for you. Definitely. Why don't you... and he like looks out the door that you all are standing in, and he's like trying to find Simon, and he's like trying to balance some things. He like doesn't know what to do next. All right. Yes. Follow me, please. Follow me. Let's move back to you, Jejwara. You are further investigating the foyer.
Yes, I want to investigate the foyer. I want to look at
The
the
foyer.
all the things that were pointed out but didn't really look hard at, like the royal person above the door,
Mm-hmm.
for instance.
They seem royal, but well, okay. Why don't you give me a check of some sort? Because D&D, let's do an insight check.
Insight check? A window?
Or no, not insight. Investigation. Let's do that. That's probably better.
Could I argue for
Rolls.
history?
Athletics check the
Yes.
window.
I'll kick
break
it
the
down.
window open.
That's an 11.
11 history. Okay. You don't recognize this person. With an 11, you do see that this figure that seems royal in some way is adorned with, like royal garments and a crown that you do not recognize. Like you all live in the land of Silverdale, and you do not recognize these adornments as anything the monarchy of Silverdale would be wearing. But they do seem royal. So that's about as far as you can tell. And you can just see this by looking. There is an M monogrammed on the like cape that is sort of like drawn across their breastplate.
Jejwara is going to turn around and go after the where the goblin retainers went, and
Upstairs?
going to up the stairs to explore more of the house, keeping concentration on detect magic.
Okay. You move up the stairs. The goblins have already went all the way up there. And you see some doors sort of thrown open as they went through trying to find a room suitable for Lord Zane. And they did land on one, a fairly sizable bedroom. It looks like a guest room, but it does seem to be the biggest one. And they're in there sort of like sitting on his stuff. And the lazy one, Lewis, is making them a snack. He's got like a little tiny fire going, and he's just cooking for them, and they're just happy, chilling there, waiting for their lord.
Wait, a little fire.
As you
in the
make your
room?
way, yeah, they have like a little like camping stove that they
okay.
make snacks for Lord Zane with. Yeah,
Don't you dare question Lewis.
Lord Zane, what do you eat? what do they snack for you? What do they make you?
Let's see. It's probably late afternoon. I'm kind of like a brunch in the afternoon, guys. So there's probably like omelets going or something.
In the afternoon.
Or say lives his life, okay?
Brunch for Lana?
That's Linner.
Brunch in the afternoon.
Brunch in the afternoon. The only time brunch isn't acceptable, that's when he likes to eat brunch.
I like to, does Lord Zane have frequent midnight brunches?
Jejwara, as you're investigating, you suddenly hear a voice behind you. Hello? Hello?
I turn around. Yeah.
What, what are you doing up here? And you see before you a very small, glasses bespeckled, if you will, gnome. They are much older, sort of a few hundred years old, very much later on in the gnome life cycle. And they are looking at you sort of with their glasses tilted down a little bit and are just shocked that you are here. Who are you?
I'm Jeshua Mosembrum. I am here. Well, no. Who are you to question me?
Well, yes, I do recognize that name. So, welcome to Mayfield Manor. I'm Benson. I'm the housekeeper of Mayfield Manor. It's sort of my job to keep everything nice and tidy and clean. It's been my job forever. Why aren't you with the others downstairs?
The others, I assume, can take care of themselves. They are not my concern. And Jeshua is going to walk out of the room and then, like, motion with his head that the gnome Benson should follow him as he keeps walking through the house.
Okay, but I think your host is going to want you back soon. They're sort of like trying to get your attention as they're following you. I don't think. And at this point, you hear footsteps coming up the grand staircase. Heavy, deep footsteps making their way up the staircase slowly.
Hey, Gavin, just double checking. Am I still gonna get a read on that detect magic?
On Simon? On the board?
On the child, yeah.
Yes. No magic.
No magic. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for reminding me. And this figure makes its way up the stairs, and it is Martin, the same man from outside. Please, sir, follow me.
Wonderful.
And he nods. And he walks down the staircase.
Jeshua will follow him.
Beautiful.
Did I hit anything on detect magic as I was holding it? Walking up there in that room? And on Benson and Martin?
Mm-hmm. Benson and Martin, you did not detect any magic. There was a singular door. The hallway that is immediately on the second floor was pretty small. There are some doors leading off of it. You assume there's much more to it beyond those doors. One of them was glowing, just emanating magic. And not just one school of magic. There was some abjuration in there, but also some, illusion, other types of magic too. A whole bunch emanating off of that room.
Just a gaggle of
When
And-
Jeshua notices that, he just takes a little mental note and smiles, and then turns around to follow Martin down the stairs.
Beautiful. And that's where we'll take our break. See you in a few.
Stairs.
Welcome back. We turn back with everyone as Jakob is leading you through the house. More opulent chambers, each one more lush than the last. And as you make your way deeper into the mansion, you almost swear you smell the scent of freshly baked breads or pies, maybe, wafting through the halls. But Jacob brings you further in until you reach a room. But this room is actually not just a room, but a massive hall.
Ooh.
Jakob has taken you to this huge hall that feels decidedly different than what you've seen so far of the mansion. This hall is bigger, for one, and it's really the first sign of any light. There's chandeliers lit with candlelight, and there's a large fireplace at the end of the room. But there are also not many windows in here, and everywhere besides these sources of light, the air in here feels sad. Empty in a way that feels off from anything you expected. At the end of this dining hall, though, you see a shape. You see a shape staring absently into the fire. Yes, that is, that will be your host, the head of the house. She will answer all of questions you might have. Please, I have to go look to Simon, but it was pleasure meeting you. And he turns abruptly and walks out the way he came. And you all are standing here. Jejwara, Martin brings you up to the rest of them at this point, and Martin immediately turns back the same way he came. And the five of you are staring into this large hall with this lone figure in front of the fireplace.
I'm gonna pull out my like a black crystal and put it up to my eye and recast detect magic.
Okay. You're gonna keep it up as you make your way through?
Yes.
Okay, this room, to give you some perspective, is maybe 120 feet long and about maybe 40 to 50 feet wide. So your detect magic doesn't go off right now, but I'll let you know if it does.
Sirius is gonna pull out a pair of crystal lenses, pale blue, which are pretty nice for the rest of her outfit, and then just put them on while she's going through the
Okay.
hall.
Great. You make your way to this figure. And as you get 10 feet closer, 20 feet closer, 30 feet closer, this figure still does not turn to recognize you. She's staring deep into the fire. As you continue to make your way forwards.
Hello.
You're here. Oh my. She pulls out a pocket watch. I've entirely lost track of time. Oh my god. All five of you here. Oh god. Oh please do forgive me. I deeply apologize. Please, oh, you must be famished. Huh? You must have not eaten in hours. Sit. Please, all of you, have a seat. And she starts pulling out chairs at this massive grand table in the center of the hall. Please, sit. I'm so sorry. I promise. Mauve almost has dinner ready. And she'll have some for you. Oh, it is an honor to meet all of you. I'm just so... I'm sorry. I'm glad you're here. It's an honor to be in the same room with you. And she looks you all over, sort of one by one, and she breathes deeply, and deep sighs of relief come out of her.
Can I insight check if this is a genuine
Yeah,
reaction or not?
Can I insight check that as well?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Same.
I will
Oh my
do the
god,
same.
Daniel, I love you.
What?
Someone's asking for inside check in your DM
Yeah.
voice.
Yeah.
Yes, you can. yeah.
21.
No. I'm saying
right.
I want to inside check that freaking shit.
Oh,
Dude.
okay.
That's what I'm
Gotcha.
saying.
Maybe
18.
I'm just triggered as your player being like.
No, dude. I'm like, yeah, dude.
Alright.
Let me do freaking. I'm gonna insight the check out of this freaking woman, dude, staring into the fire.
Ooh,
Is
these
it
checks,
okay
y'all
to do
are
an insight
good.
check and a perception check? Because I also want to perceive like no, just can't double it.
We'll do the inside check first, and if after you still want to perceive, then you can do that.
That makes
Oh
sense.
my,
Thank you.
These rolls. Jajwara 13, Mashka 17, Sirius 18, Reggie 19, Lord. Okay. All of you, with the exception of Jajwara. Jajwara, you get that she is flustered. She seems to mean the things she says. But she is. You don't really know what to make of her. The rest of you get the same sort of insight that you did earlier on Jakob. There is a book that she is not revealing to you. And especially that 21, you know that her only goal right now is you all not to leave. Please, I will be right back. What is the things in the Discord? Yes. I will be right back. It's an honor to meet all of you, and please, the festivities will soon begin.
Well, the bread smells delicious. I'm very excited to take a bite.
Yes. Well, our cook is the famous, world famous Marv Scone Tart. I'm sure you've heard of her. She's famous through the lands, and we have her here, as a special treat for you all. So, please, do stay put. I will be right back. Do make yourself at home. Please sit. And
Before you go, I would like to take a moment to introduce myself. And Jeshuwara brings himself up. He is normally quite hunched and crouched over, his shoulders hunched inward as well, and he brings himself up to his full height of 6 feet, and he extends a leather gloved hand, and then pulls the glove off with his other hand, and he has a worn leathery hand underneath even, and extends that toward the woman, and he says, "Margaret, I presume. My name is Jeshuwara Mosembrum."
Oh, yes, I know very well who you are, Jajwara. You're a famous master of the occult. Yes, a pleasure to meet you. I regret to inform you I am not Margaret Mayfield. My name is Laurie Darling. And she shakes your hand eagerly. She is genuinely excited to meet you. Yes, I'm
Jeshuwara kind
Laurie
of,
Darling.
after he hears that it's not Margaret, he kind of like, it's like kind of a dead fish handshake after that. Not really much in it from him. And he goes,
Oh.
"Well, maybe my host and hostess would grace me with their presence soon."
Oh, yes. Of course, yes. I just need to make sure you are all fed and
Wonderful. And he kind of
Yes.
pulls his hand away and slips his leather glove back on, and turns and goes to sit down.
I'm so pleased you're here. Right, I'll be right back. And as she leaves the room, at the same exact time, a small gnome enters the dining hall at a brisk pace. Jajwara, you would recognize them as the gnome you met upstairs. But everyone else, you
Benny.
barely notice them enter the room. Hello. And he's moving around. They're moving around the room, sweeping dust off of various surfaces, relighting candles, adjusting things to their precise place. And they finally make their way right up to you, Sirius. Excuse me, madam. Is there anything I can hang up for you at the front door? A coat, perhaps? Or some dirty shoes? Anything I can take for you?
I think I'm good for the moment. Thank you, my gnomish friend. I'm going to just take a bit of a walk around, if you do not mind.
All right. Yes, but Miss Darling would like it if you stayed in the hall, please.
I'll stay in the room. Just
Okay,
curious.
great. And
Sirius
you?
is gonna go walk over to the fire.
Okay. And you, sir? Anything I can take for you? Looking at you, Reggie.
Oh no, I'll hang on to my things if that's all right.
Oh yes, no problem. And you, ma'am, Moshka? Sorry. What was it? She told me. Maria.
Moshka
you,
is
ma'am?
just fine, thank you.
All right. Yes.
No, I do not wish to be touched. I will keep my things, thank you.
Understood. And you, Mr. Mosenbrum, we met earlier. Can I take anything for you?
No.
All right, great. And you, Lord Zane. he bows a little bit. My God, they bow a little bit.
I believe my goblin friends have taken care of all my things, but I appreciate the kindness.
Oh, yes, they are up in your room right now. Great. Lovely to meet you all. I have to get going. Bye. And the gnome exits just as quickly as they came. And Lori re-enters the room. Oh, you must forgive me. The food isn't quite yet ready, you see. It is entirely my fault. I'm so sorry. And she makes her way up to you. I knew you were coming today, but I've been so absent-minded of late and didn't give Marv enough time to prepare. But rest assured, she'll have something cooked up soon enough. In the meantime, I've brought a bottle of the Mayfield signature brandy out for you all. If there's no food, at least I can offer you a drink. And she sits with you all. Oh, this music does not feel right. Please.
Has my
yes.
image collected Louis?
Has you? Oh, were they getting?
I said it a little bit that I was setting my image up to like the room to try to collect like Lewis to bring him down specifically. I didn't know if he was able to make it back in time.
Great. Yes. By this point, Lewis would have been brought back.
Okay, then I'll pour a drink and toss it over to Lewis. Check it for me, Louis.
You, sir. Oh, right. Yes, of course. He takes the tiniest sip anyone could take. And he looks at, like, his arms and his legs. Yeah, I'm all right. Yeah, it's good to drink, sir.
Thank you.
Here you go.
Thank you. And then I'll go ahead and take a sip of it, too.
Sirius, it's at this point that your perception check into the fire, you go ahead and make that check for me.
Of course. That is a 23.
You rolled a 9.
A 23. You notice you don't notice anything that was sort of briefly thrown in or anything like that, but you do notice a large amount of papers that have been burnt. You notice some sort of various adornments. They look like maybe they could be jewelry, accessories of some sort. Not a lot. And they're definitely starting to blacken and sort of melt down. But you notice that. But it doesn't seem to be anything central.
If they are blackening now, is that relatively recent?
That would be... It would be maybe in the last few hours. Definitely today.
So definitely soon. All right.
I'll step away from the
I'm not-
fire and then grab a brandy.
I'm gonna look over at Sirius, and say in Elvish, You see anything when you look over there? The fire. Fire has a habit of telling on, don't it?
Nothing I saw would make you look any prettier. I say back in perfect Elvish.
Lord Zane just cracks up laughing in the corner.
All right.
Takes
Takes
right,
a swig of the
I didn't
brandy.
understand that. Maybe that was some Elvish, perhaps.
A bit of a jest
wow,
in
you
Elvish.
really. Oh yes, I'm sure it was quite good. Everyone has a drink, yes. All right. And she takes a seat at the head of this table. Now, I probably owe you all an explanation. She takes a deep breath, swallows immensely, like she's been dreading this moment, but simultaneously knows it's gotta happen. I'm afraid I've misled you all. There is no celebration, no dinner party in your honor. I have brought you all here because I require your services. I wasn't sure you would answer my call if you knew what the job entailed. She's starting to break down a little bit. I'm at my wit's end, you see. The Mayfields, whom you presume to be your hosts tonight, are missing. Hatham and Margaret, the owners of this estate, they've been missing for 6 months now. I'm Laurie Darling, Hatham's sister. I was called over here as soon as the Mayfields went missing to take care of their children. Mildred and Simon, I believe you've met him. I love them, I do, but it's been hard that they've missed their parents terribly. And before the disappearance of Hatham and Margaret, I'm ashamed to say I didn't visit here much. Not since the disappearance of my husband, Winston. He died of illness in this house about 5 years ago now. Rare lung disease, the doctors said. And since his passing, I wasn't able to bring myself back here until, like I said, 6 months ago when they disappeared. And she points to portraits on the wall. That right there is the Lord Madam of this estate, Hatham, my brother, and Margaret. They're beautiful, and they're wonderful parents. They really are. And she points to the portrait next to them, but smaller in size and seemingly further away. That is my late husband, Winston. That was taken when he was a bit younger. And that last one's me, next to him. I was a bit younger as well, but well, that's everyone. And there's more, I'm afraid.
Wait.
Yes, Mr. Jones.
Continue.
Yes, well, my husband passed 5 years ago, and I've been able to continue the employment of the staff, and together we've been taking care of the Mayfield children in the interim. But here's why I really called you here. Mildred, sweet Mildred, has also gone missing. Just last week. I don't know what to do. No one has seen anything. None of the staff have any clue where they went. I've hired so many professionals from town over the last 6 months, but none of them have turned up anything, or they refused the case outright. But when Mildred disappeared, that sweet little girl, I knew I had to do something more. So I reached out to all my old contacts, and I sought out the best. You, a private investigator. She looks at you, Sirius.
That would be me.
An expert of the occult. She looks at you, Jejwara. An assassin. She looks at you, Mashka.
Well, you know, this is subjective statement. I don't know if I say assassin necessarily.
She winks at you. Right, yes. Of course, and an ex-soldier and exorcist, Mr. Jones over here, who's quite a resume. And
just grunts to himself.
oh, quite. And the Prince of Goblins himself, Lord Zane. I'm shocked you're here. Of all people, I did not think you would be here, but I am so glad you are.
I am always present whenever people are willing to worship me.
Well, yes.
Sirius takes a deep, deep drink.
I need to hire you to find the Mayfield. Hatham, Margaret, and Mildred. Please, and the part of the letters about money, that was not a lie. Money is no object. The Mayfields have a vast fortune, many connections, and I will gladly offer you anything upon their discovery. If you do not find them, I will still pay you half, and trust me, that half will be considerable. I know I promised some of you specific things in your letters, and I came across these things in my contacts throughout Silverdale, and those things I will deliver on. And my brother Hatham and Margaret can deliver even more. They have money, power, and connections. But please, will you help me? Help us?
All right,
Well, I expected treachery, but this is ambitious. But I am intrigued.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it. I'm so glad. Well, yes, this is sure to be a doozy, because it's a bit of a strange detail. They went missing here on the grounds. No one ever saw them leave, and they never left the estate on their own. There isn't much to go on in the countryside, as you all saw, and we had dogs sweep the fields for months around the house. I know. They're on the grounds somewhere. The grounds are vast. And she looks at you, Jejwara, for this. And a little bit at you, Reggie. And weird things have been happening. Things I can't explain. Noises, disturbances, things gone missing. It's all very strange, but I know your particular set of skills will get the job done.
all right, look. I'm not in it for too much to help a couple of Dardian aristocrats. I'm gonna need help up front if I'm even gonna be interested in discuss this job any further.
Oh, up front. Yes, of course. Yes, that will be arranged. Absolutely. Does anyone else feel this way?
If I'm assured of my payment, then I will help. And also if you let me smoke in the house.
Those are 2 yeses for you, madam. And she gives you a big smile.
Very good.
She kicks up her legs onto the table and then lights a smoke. A long one of those like 1920s cigarettes for women, like the super long ones where it would like be held on an end. That one. Just kind of lights it.
Like a cigarette holder?
Yeah, they're like the long cigarette holders from the 1920s. Yeah.
And she looks at the rest of you like a little kid lost at an amusement park looking for their parents.
long as there's
I am.
connections to be made, money is no object to me.
Oh.
Lovely.
I am not used to working in. How do you say? Group settings. But if the information that you mentioned in my invitation still stands, I will take that as my reward. And money
Yes.
too. I will also accept as much
Yes,
money
of
as you're
course.
willing to give me, naturally.
She looks at you, Mashka, like she's trying to be sneaky. Like she's trying to do the thing you do. And she's like, yes, the information that I promised, of course, and the money as well.
What is
And
this?
she gives you a wink.
What is this wink? Why are you being this way? What are you not saying?
Well, I know with your particular history, I'm trying to be subtle. You see, trying to be. No.
It doesn't suit you.
Right. My husband said the same thing. All right. Well, that's all of you. Beautiful. All right. Well. All right. Now, let's get to it then. I have 3 possible leads for you in this investigation. Now, like I've said, I've hired numerous professionals. I have looked into it myself. Members of this household have seen things and investigated things. And I have 3 avenues of investigation for you. All right? The first is Mauve is going to have some details for you. She is stationed in the kitchen. That's where she likes to hang out. And Mildred spent most of her time in there with Mauve and would sneak off down to the cellar sometimes as well. So Mauve swears there's something going on there with her disappearance. So the kitchen, and Mauve will have something more for you. Now, here at Mayfield Manor, we also have a vast grounds, and we have some intricate gardens, in fact. And and her face turns a little sour. You can talk to Reyna for that. Reyna has said that there have been some weird stuff happening out in the gardens near the cemetery, so you can talk to her there. But yes, the gardens with Reyna. And finally, where I've had the most experience, upstairs, the bedrooms. Now, Benson will take you up there because they are very particular with what gets touched and what doesn't, and they will bring you to the hallway in question. But that's where, and she's looking at you, Joshwara. That's where I saw the disturbances. You see things moving, strange sounds. It's just, I don't even sleep up there anymore. I can't. I sleep down here. But yes, those are the 3 leads I have for you. Please investigate in whichever order you see fit. You are the experts, but I'm sure you'll be able to figure something out.
Perfect. Then let's get started, shall we?
Oh, and the food, yes. Whether it's now or later, I'm sure Mauve is going to have some food for you. So, whether it's later or now, please, Mauve, go eat. She'll have something for you. I'm sure it'll be delicious. Thank you all. Thank you so much.
In the sketchy website I bought this turtle from stole all.
Sorry, what was that?
In the sketchy website,
Is he
I bought this turtle
listening to? Is he watching TikToks during the D&D session?
Oh no!
Like the Twitch tab and an ad came up.
Oh, no.
An ad came up. An ad
I've
did
purchased
exit.
turtle from sketchy website.
sketchy
I'd like to
website.
know.
All right, Gavin.
What is website?
Yes.
Okay.
She stands up and smiles at you all. And if there at any point you need to rest, either for a short or long amount of time, wink, we have 2 guest rooms set up for you upstairs. Please make use of them at any time. And a bit of a homebrew. Long rests will be 4 hours, and short rests will be 30 minutes. This really, it'll not give you any like advantage. It's really just for the like flow of everything.
Totally.
Long rest 4
makes a
hours, short
lot of
rest 30
sense.
minutes.
I actually had a question, Gavin,
Sick.
about the places.
Yes.
So we have
Please.
we have the gardens, we have the bedrooms upstairs, and then what was the other location?
The
kitchen-
cellar and the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen and the adjacent cellar attached to the kitchen.
Kitchen and
Exactly.
adjacent. So those are the 3 main locations.
Exactly. The
We
three
have
the 3
Mom for
leads
the
she has for you.
kitchens, Raina for the gardens, and then we don't have anyone specifically for the bedrooms, right, Gavin?
You have Benson, the housekeeper who
thank
you
you.
met, the small gnome. They will lead you to the area.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Gardens, Reina.
Perfect.
Bedrooms is Benson. And the kitchen cellar is Mauve. Gotcha.
All right. Please have as much brandy as you like, and Mr. Jones, I'll have I'll procure those funds for you soon enough, and I'll have them for you shortly. Yes.
All right.
Great. All right. Thank you all again. My heart is relieved. And she turns and walks out the room. What the hell do you do?
Woo, baby, here we go.
Let's do this.
Let's do
All
it.
right. Oh, gotta really.
Well, it
Alright.
seems we are joining a party of sorts. As it turns out, after all. How may I refer to you all?
You may call me Sirius or Siri. Either one works for me.
I prefer to stay on more formal terms. If you have a title and a last name, like Ms. Nikolaevna.
If you need to use my last name, Aladavena is fine. But really, I'm not here for formality. Honestly, I'm kind of relieved that we're not having any celebrations. This is more my speed.
Well, Ms. Aladavena, Ms. Nikolaevna, Lord Zane, and Mr. Jones, I do believe I'll be starting upstairs in the bedrooms. It seems to be where I've been pointed. If any of you would like to join me.
I do believe I will be starting literally anywhere the fuck else, so I will go to the kitchen.
Very
I'll
well.
go ahead and join you. I am rather hungry. Lewis, you have something prepared upstairs, correct?
A snack for you, sir. Yeah, absolutely. We got something on the campfire for you, sir.
Okay. Now run ahead, make sure it's nice and warm. I'll be up there in a few minutes with our friend here.
Great, yeah.
And anyone else who would like to join.
Pillows for you, sir.
Wait, are you going to the kitchen or the bedrooms?
I'm going to the bedrooms,
going to
but they
kitchen.
have my
Okay.
Reggie,
Stuff.
where are you going?
It seems rather it might be of use to go up to the bedrooms. I guess Joshua, I'm with you.
I will accompany Mashka. By the
Sounds
way,
good.
point of interest.
And then Sirius lowers her voice.
There are materials in the fire that were burned recently. Necklaces, adornments, and papers. Eventually I will wish to question Laurie. I'm sure she is not letting on as much as she knows.
They never are.
If anyone is wanting
Be
to,
sure.
if anyone is wanting to do questioning, I believe I can be particularly helpful in this endeavor. So I'm here if you need me.
I would like to get the both of you and me in a room in that case. Get somebody sit down in a chair. see what we could make happen if that's the case.
This seems more my speed. Yes, I will go
Okay.
with you.
All right.
So so are you joining Reggie upstairs, or are you joining into the kitchen?
Oh, I understand. Sorry. If you need me, when you find someone you want to question, you give me a holler. But I am going to the kitchen.
Beautiful.
I'll go to the kitchen with
We have
with
Mashka.
Mashka, yeah.
Mashka and Sirius to the kitchen,
Mhm.
and Lord Zane, Reggie, and Jejwara to the bedrooms.
That is correct.
We will begin
Let's go.
in the kitchen.
Oh.
Sounds good.
There's some
on.
shit in the
Put on
bedroom,
my-
y'all. There's some shit in the bedroom.
Put on my
Ladies
DM
first.
brain.
Ladies Faust.
We will start in the bedrooms, as my DM brain calculates.
There's some
We
shit in the
begin-
kitchen. There's some shit in the kitchen.
Some shit in the kitchen.
All right. Jezwara, Lord Zane, and these names always, and Reggie. You make your way back out of this room, back towards the foyer. And Jezwara, I will allow you to lead the way, as you might have a guess where you're going upstairs.
Yes. Jejuara is going to pull out that black crystal once again and hold it up to his eye to cast Detect Magic. And start heading up the stairs and toward that door that he remembered being full to the brim with magic.
Great. Do the rest of you follow?
No,
Yeah,
I would like
two
to
of you?
pick up my omelet first.
Okay, but you're all going up the stairs?
If anyone else would like an
I'll
omelet,
follow
you are
just
welcome
one.
to collect one.
Great. Well, once
I will,
you
I
all
will
get...
hand out little packets of omelets to everyone else.
Oh my God.
All
Well,
right,
once you
that
get to the top of
sounds-
the stairs,
Pop it in my
you
mouth.
see Benson standing there waiting for you. Hi. It's me again, Benson. I was told that you all would be here, and you're here doing your investigating.
Jejuara is going to continue to walk right past them.
Oh, okay.
I'll stop and talk to Benson in that case.
Great.
Just heading straight for that door.
Well, okay, that is the door that I was going to show you to. So, just Mr. Mosenbrum, you are
All
ahead of the
right,
pack.
and then I continue walking past as Benson mutters and stumbles over himself.
May I ask, where did you get those omelets?
Oh, would you like one? Lewis!
Oh, no.
Louis.
No. Oh, no problem. No,
He's already halfway done with it. He's extremely quick.
No, yes, I wasn't asking because I wanted any. I was just gonna ask, could you make sure not to leave any like smears or crumbs? I've really cleaned this place really well, and you're just walking around here without...
You're telling me there was people being taken and you thoroughly cleaned the place right after. That's a good.
I clean the place
good
every day.
plan.
That's my job.
Dude,
Here.
that's a good plan. No,
he
it's
hands
okay.
you
I understand.
They hand you each a napkin in your free hand.
Sure, I'll take a napkin.
This is for your omelet. You can put it underneath. But yes, that is the room. Please, that is where the disturbances have been happening. Or it's the hallway, rather. Yes. I got work to do. Holler if you need anything, but I might not hear you. Bye! And you stand before this magic secreting door.
Where did Benson go?
He went back downstairs. My lord, I create someone with they, them pronouns, and I can't say it myself. They go down the stairs.
Okay.
They are continuing their work.
Homie, I feel you.
Sounds good.
I'm gonna look at Jeshwara. I'm sorry, Gavin. Were you jumping in?
No, please, go ahead.
So, is that like...
I'm sorry. The person that really employed her. What's her name again?
Lori,
Lori.
darling.
So Lori down there said you are a person familiar with the occult. Is that a eyepiece that you're holding around have something to do with that?
Itawara take some time to look at the door before he responds. So what do I notice about the door before I respond?
You get lots of pings of magic. You get, as I said before, abjuration. You also get a faint whiff, if you will, of necromancy, and some heavy illusion as well. Those are the primary schools of magic that you detect.
Can I try to see if there's anything affecting the door itself, like the knob or the hinges or the wood of the door, rather than just coming from behind it? And which ones?
Yeah, like if the door itself is emanating any of these schools of magic?
Yeah, or if it's like something that, or if it's just in the room.
It feels as if the magic is beyond the door, and the door, if anything, is just sealing it off a little bit. But the door itself does not seem to be magical.
And Joshuara takes away the crystal from his eye, and you see that it is see-through. And then as soon as he takes it away from his eye, it turns jet black. And he says,
Ooh.
"Yes, I have spent quite some time collecting artifacts of various powers, types. They aid me."
Perfect. Well, you ran for this door rather quick, didn't you? You see something that you should, that would inform us about what we're walking into here?
It doesn't seem to me that your input on matters of the occult would affect me at all. And then Jeshawara is going to open the door.
All right. You open the door, and you see before you what I'm about to show you.
Music is a lot less pithy now. A map.
You see before you a long hallway.
Is
And
this the door, like where I'm pinging? Or have we entered it?
yeah, it's a window. You are here. That right there is a window. Imagine the door's like right there off the side.
Oh, the door's like here, and we just walked through.
Exactly. You walk through the door, and you see this
Yeah, little
long hallway before you.
Gavin, I'm gonna take out my. I'm sorry.
No, please.
I'm gonna take out my sunblade, and I'm gonna activate its radiant energy.
Okay, and that emits what sort of light again, and how far? Let's see, I have it in my.
It says pure radiance. That's what it says.
Okay.
It's a luminous blade, emits bright light in a 15-foot radius and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
Beautiful. Okay.
The light is sunlight. There it is.
Fancy schmancy.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Jeshawara holds up one of his gloves, and the symbol, the bright blue symbol on it, suddenly starts pulsing, and he points the glove toward Reggie. Says, "Put that away."
Want to tell me why?
You are a fool, first of all. I, if you have not noticed, am a drow. Do not point sunlight at me. And you can see Jeshawara is kind of, as much as he's pointing the glove at you, he's also shielding his eyes and face, and it seems like he's like hurt by the sunlight in some way.
I'm gonna deactivate the radiance, but I'm still gonna have the blade out.
Okay.
So the sunlight disappears, returns to a neutral blade. All right, I'll put it away for now. I'm still gonna have this drawn, but what you gotta understand, while you deal in the occult, I deal of a different nature, and this is my weapon against that. Without this is my best asset, just as your little toys. So if we're gonna work together, you're gonna have to deal with some way to look at it direct, or look away, or something. Because this thing, that will not be the last that you see of sunlight on this blade.
Then maybe it would be best if you explored the grounds outside, so as to not impede my work.
All right.
While they're bickering, I'm gonna send an image forward, and
Okay.
it's just gonna be walking down the hallway.
Great. I think I.
Well,
created-
listen,
Go ahead.
Joshua. We were both asked to come up here and explore. As she told you, I have experience with supernatural beings. You have experience with supernatural objects. So I think for right now, it's important that we stick together at least for this one. All right? I'll work with you if you work for me. I won't bring out the sun. So long as there isn't a need. Deal?
Well, if you continue to keep the sunlight at bay, I won't show you any of my little toys.
All
And then
right.
Jeshuara picks back the crystal up, the jet black crystal, puts it to his eye, and it turns clear once again as he casts Detect Magic and begins to walk down the hallway, probably right behind your Echo.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I
Reggie, you at this point, having put it down, your sunblade, you notice that you don't really need it. You don't see any chandeliers, candles, or candelabras that you've seen in the rest of the manor, but you can see pretty well around here. There are fervent rays of moonlight like slicing through the windows. And even though they're directional and you can only see a little bit at a time, where the light is shining, you can see quite a bit down to the end of the hallway. And Lord Zane, as your echo makes its way down this hallway, and Jejwara, you closely at its tail, that is where we're going to pick it up next time, my friends.
Gavin, just for future reference, would you describe the lighting in this hallway as
going 3 hours.
dim?
Yes, I would.
Wow, that sounds neat.
Yeah.
Sounds really interesting to my purposes.
Yeah.
These are
That
really
sounds neat.
just a kind of a cool fact about the lighting in here.
Oh my god, Andrew, I'm gonna kill you.
Lighting, dude. Cool fact.
Dim lighting is a fun
Long,
thing.
long rest,
Dude,
short rest.
I want to play more. I want to play more D&D, please.
I know, I thought we were for 3 hours. What the fuck?
Everyone went mad silent. We were all like, I want to play more,
Went
and then everyone was like silent.
Quiet. All right. I mean, what is everyone's schedule? Can everyone continue?
I do have to go, unfortunately.
Yeah. No, it's okay. We'll pick it up
Sorry.
next
That's
time.
okay.
Totally.
It leaves us hanging
Yeah,
for
it
next
leaves us
time.
hanging, dude. We just want more D&D,
Gotta
which is
So
always
good, Gavin.
Gavin, it's good. Gavin, it's good.
It was so good.
Yeah, they're totally good.
Oh,
Thanks.
always
Yeah,
something. I wanna
amazing.
play more.
And that is our show. Thank you all so much for tuning in to our first episode of An Invitation. The one shot we're doing. We'll probably be doing about 2, maybe 3 sessions of this. And we'll be back with the Grim Troop. Daniel will be back in the reins after that. And thank you all for just hanging out here with us on Twitch all the time. It's amazing. And you can follow us over on YouTube and Instagram at Stop, Drop, and Roll D&D, and over on Twitter at SDR_D&D. I'm Gavin. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll see you all on the next one.